Hey everyone, it's Audrey here from Mom Generations. Thank you guys for watching. I wanted to do a quick video this morning on public speaking tips. So my son, Benjamin, has a project due in his class.
Oh,
and
that's great. I have 10 more.
You do have, oh, okay, but I'm doing a video right now about you doing a public speaking to your class, right? We're going to stand up and do a presentation. So I wanted to give some tips because as I was working with Benjamin on him getting up in front of class, and listen, Ben's 10, so it's not easy getting up and speaking in front of anybody at any age. And I was one of those kids when I was younger. I was afraid to even raise my hand in class. Honestly, that lasted through college. My first 2 years of college, I was genuinely afraid to even raise my hands in class. I just had a fear of speaking in public. And then around my junior year, I took a public speaking class because it was a requirement for the concentration I was in. And it changed my life dramatically. It changed my life. It literally changed my life. All of a sudden, it kind of broke me out of this thing that I was feeling of being terrified to get up and even talking in front of people. I actually remember standing up the first time and the woman simply asked, just say your name and then what you're going to talk about. And I remember I stood up and I said, my name is Audrey. And she stopped me right there in front of everybody. And she said, is your name Audrey? And I said, yeah. And she said, well, why did you put a question mark at the end of it? My name is Audrey. It's a statement. And it was something that I had been saying all the time, Audrey. And let me shut this so you guys can actually hear me. But public speaking is a skill that I genuinely do feel that everybody, especially in high school and college, that you should either take a class or it should be integrated into a curriculum, because I think it is very important. Not only speaking in front of people, but it can help on job interviews. It can help when you're even like just meeting people for the first time, networking. These skills can be used truly throughout your entire life. So I want to give just 7 quick tips when it comes to public speaking. It doesn't matter if you're 10 or if you're 80 or 100. I'm 40. So there we go. It's gonna help you across the board here. So I wrote them all down. So number 1, watch the masters do their craft. You know, there are people that public speak for a living. You know, we have Tony Robbins. Oprah is one of them. You know, just think of people that genuinely, and now with YouTube, you can go on and you could listen to anybody speak. I mean, YouTube has opened up the well in terms of watching people that are really great at speaking. And just see how they speak. See how they pause. See how they tell a story. See how they make eye contact. Watch people that are great at it. You know, one of the best ways to be better at what you want to do is to practice, right? Is to watch people. It's to hone in on a craft. So watch the masters. That's my first tip. Number 2, I kind of just said it, practice. You know, with Benjamin especially, we learned this last night. Get up and practice. You never want to get up and be speaking about something for the very first time or even the second or third time. You want to know that material inside and out. You want to be able to stand up and not only know that what you're going to say you have within your head, but you also want to know that the people that are going to be listening to you, you want them to actually listen to you. And the art of that is practicing. It's saying it over and over and over again. It's not saying like, it's not saying and those things come. It just happens and it's going to happen. But by practicing over and over again, you're going to get better at truly getting up in front of even 2 people, 100 or thousands of people, and really honing in on what you want to say and have to say. My third tip, know the space that you're talking in. Even last night when I was talking to my son Benjamin, I said, you're going to be speaking in class. So here's the best thing for you. You are in this classroom every single day. So you know the classroom inside and out. If you're going to be doing public speaking at a university, at a local community center, anywhere, know the space. Go there the day before if it's out of town, and just so you visually can see it. You know, it relaxes you to know that you are going to be able to identify where you're speaking before you actually get up and do it. It does help. If you can do that, it's a great tip. My 4th tip, visualize yourself. You know, just like the top athletes visualize themselves going down the ski slope or swimming a race or running or winning a baseball game or a football game, visualize yourself from beginning to end giving your speech, whether it's 2 minutes or even an hour. Visualize yourself the whole way through. Don't be afraid to use note cards. I always say to my son too, you know, yesterday when we were practicing, I said to my son, can you use note cards? He said, yes, you can. Never be afraid to look at your note cards. This is not a game. It's not a memorization skill. I mean, unless you're being graded on memorizing tons of stuff, but use your notes. It's okay to look down and to make sure you're on point. So as you're visualizing, make sure too that you're also taking note that it's okay to have note cards on you. A lot of times when you give a speech, the beautiful thing is you can have even a projector that's showcasing your screen or a PowerPoint presentation in front of you. That's great too to keep you on point. So don't be afraid to ask too when you're doing public speaking if you can indeed have notes. I can guarantee you, I feel like nobody is going to tell you no. Know your audience. So my audience usually on my blog is moms. So I know that Ben's audience is his fellow students, his classmates. So know your audience. As you're going in, identify who you are speaking to. Is it a group of entrepreneurs? Is it a room full of doctors? Is it a room full of salespeople? Is it a room full of millennials? Is it a room full of whomever? Know your audience, because as you're speaking, it's going to be easier for you to actually know who you're speaking to. Because many times when you give speeches, sometimes you just kind of have to tweak your audience. I mean, you could have a speech on, I don't know, living your best life. And you could be speaking to students one day and maybe, you know, entrepreneurs the next. So you have to tweak it. So know your exact audience. Breathe. Don't be afraid to breathe. I remember when I first started doing public speaking, I actually would write in the word breathe. So I would know as I'm speaking to take a breath. Because if you get nervous or if you lose your place, you can start to tell. And you don't want the audience to know that. So make sure you're always taking the time to just collect yourself and go on. So make sure you take a good breather. And then my last tip, which might sound vain, but it actually, I feel, is one of the most important tips. Make sure you look good because you're going to feel good. You know, like I said to my son, Ben, you know, you are giving a report on Terry Bradshaw. He's a Steelers football player. So if you want, wear some Steelers gear. Like, feel confident when you get up. I am going to totally here give you guys one of my, you know, things that, one of the things that I hate about myself is that I can sweat. So I would never give a speech with like a light colored shirt on because I'd be so terrified that you would see sweat stains. It's who I am. It's just the way it is. It is what it is, nothing you can do about it. But I always, when I give a speech, I will always wear dark clothing because I feel confident in knowing that even if I happen to sweat, you're not gonna see it. So whatever it is, it's a color you love, it's a favorite shirt. If you wanna wear those crazy, amazing high heels, if you wanna wear that powerful lipstick, if you wanna wear that power tie or that power suit, feel good. When you get up there feeling good, you're gonna just give off that confidence, and that's going to help you dramatically as well. So I hope these tips can start you off on some public speaking. Again, I do think it's a skill that's important for everybody to have. Doesn't matter what your age is. It's a great way to be able to hone in and just feel good about yourself. So hope this helps everybody. Have a great day.